Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's One Piece Treasure Cruise video we have a New Year's Eve special dedicated to the upcoming free-to-play legend Ace. I want to also wish all of you a Happy New Year or a Happy New Year's Eve depending on where in the world you are located. Hopefully you are having a wonderful time. One thing is for certain, you don't need to worry about if this Ace is worth it or not anymore because we are going to break down everything in this video. So without further ado, let's get to it. I want to start things off with his base abilities in his 6-star form, since he also has a super evolution, which we are going to talk about shortly. Ace is a strength, shooter and striker, final tap legend, with barrier penetration and also increased damage taken duration reduction. In his 6-star form, he has the ability to remove 5 turns of chain coefficient reduction and 5 turns of attack down under a specific chain, which makes Ace the only unit in the entire game that is able to do that from his captain ability, and excluding units like Sira Hoshimanseri and the V1 Straw Hats, he is also the only unit that can deal with attack down under a specific chain from one of his abilities by removing it and not providing a chain lock, chain boundaries or a chain boost. For his base special, he reduces our crew's HP, damages the enemy, and then applies ignited status even through immunity, and he gives our team conditional attack boost versus the ignited status. So, very good effect, but also very lackluster on its own. For his final tap ability, which does not change with level limit break or his super evolution, I guess you can say it is decent, but it will only mainly be useful versus Dex enemies, and in the case we want to use this Ace as captain. Here you can also see his sailor abilities, which you only get access to if you limit break him, which is of course worth it, and he makes tandem slots matching for striker and shooter units, which is pretty good. Let's now say we super evolve him. What changes? First of all, from his captain ability, he now also boosts strikers and not only shooters. He makes more slots matching, he reduces our crew's HP at the end of its turn, and he still has the same utility. For his special, he can now, one turn after its activation, apply ignited status through immunity again, and since his conditional attack boost is 3 turns, it is a great damage boosting upgrade. He also gains an EX super special though, for strength super typing and shooter super class on top of his final tap ability, which he maintains, and through that he can actually provide threshold to our team. And while that can definitely be useful in specific situations, it is also the only thing he can provide while still needing 3 specific characters in the crew to gain access to it. So in my opinion, it is 100% a lackluster ability, especially for an EX super. At level limit break 3, his captain ability is getting better because the multipliers of his boosting increase. Other than that, essentially everything else remains the same. But at level limit break 3, he also gets a boost in his special ability. And he now becomes a free-to-play Demon Robin and Oiran all-in type unit with his special, but for shooters and strikers. On top of everything else he could do, now if your captain is shooter or striker, he can also allow you to gain 2 conditional attack boosts while he himself provides 1, ignoring immunity. Which means we now have Q Demon Robin for cerebral and free spirit units, Dex Big Mom for driven and powerhouse units, and strength free-to-play Ace for shooters and strikers, which means only 2 classes remain, slashers and fighters. Shooter and striker might not be the best combination of classes, but still, Ace now becomes a member of a very limited and specific legend group. For all the players that miss Robin and All-in, he is a great opportunity and free-to-play as well to help increase the damage output versus super bosses. Under specific requirements of course, but still. His special ability gets an upgrade once again at level limit break 4, where on top of everything else, he can manipulate all slots on all units, not specific shooter and strikers, into tandem slots, and that effect goes through block slots as well, which is great. And at maximum level limit break 5, he gets another special upgrade where he can apply the multiple conditional attack boost enabling buff for 3 turns instead of 1, which is very strong if we consider the fact that he himself can apply a conditional attack boost for 3 turns, and he can apply ignited status through immunity in 2 different stages. There are 2 problems though. Number 1, it is very expensive to get him to level limit break 5, and number 2, without being able or without wanting to use Strength Legend level limit break upgrade materials on him, it is currently impossible to do so by only getting his multiple copies from different shops with in-game currency. Let me explain exactly why by transitioning into the game to check Ace's level limit break levels. First of all, as we can see, in total we want 1 copy for level limit break 1 and 1 copy for level limit break 2. Then we need 2 copies for levels 3 and 4 and 3 more copies for level 5, which equals 9 copies of Ace. Through the different shops we have in One Piece Treasure Cruise, you can only obtain 6 copies of him. So to max him out, we either use 3 Strength Legend level limit break upgrade materials on him, or we wait for the next upcoming months to see if he actually resets and is purchasable again from the medal exchange, which is a method that I don't even know it will be possible, but even if it is, it's not worth to upgrade him that way because he is extremely expensive from the medal exchange. Let's see though, how do we exactly max him out? First of all, we can super evolve him by obtaining 5 skulls from the Kizuna exchange with Kizuna insignia, and each skull costs 100 insignia for a 500 total to super evolve him. Then, to max out his level limit break, we can obtain copies of Ace from various in-game shops. 1 copy from the Kizuna shop for 500 extra insignia, 1 copy from the Treasure Map shop with 50,000 tickets, 1 copy from Rayleigh's Bazaar with 100,000 points, 1 copy from the Pirate King Adventures shop for 300 tickets, and 1 copy from the medal exchange for 1,000 medals. If you are wondering which shop is worth to obtain him from, these are my set in stone opinions. The Rayleigh's Bazaar, 100% get him from there, get your first copy. You should also 100% super evolve him, but from the medal exchange, I don't think it is worth if you are not someone who has majority of the legends in the game and has spare medals, because 1,000 medals is a huge amount of medals that you can actually use to get multiple legends from different rotations and even limited units that we will only see again through the medal exchange. And now to say the classic thing everybody says. 1 medal is obtained from 1 pool that costs 5 gems, which means you essentially need to spend 5,000 gems for 1,000 medals. And obviously, he is not worth 5,000 gems. No legend in the entire game, no matter who you pick, even Gear 5 Luffy is not worth 5,000 gems. But, there is a huge but here, I don't exactly find this correlation between gems and medals correct. Because you would spend gems anyway to try and get the legends you want, and you happen to get medals from that. No one really specifically spends gems to get medals. So in my opinion, it is not the most fair comparison or analogy, but 1,000 medals are still a lot. You can almost get 2 600 medal legends. So in short, if you are relatively new or someone that misses a lot of legends, do not get Ace from the medal exchange. But if you are someone with almost all legends in the game, and you still have some lying around medals to get limited rare recruits in the upcoming months, then sure, I guess you can spend the 1,000 on Ace. Now from everything else, Kizuna, Treasure Map and Pirate King Adventure shops, I would say that he is worth to get from everywhere, but it always depends on your situation and how many units from a specific shop you are missing. So for example, if you miss a lot of Kizuna units, some of them are really good. So maybe you want to prioritize them first before getting Ace. Maybe you want to get Treasure Map units, max them out, and also now get more copies of them to level limit break them fully. so maybe Ace has to wait. And I really want to stress this out. Just because he has a unique and very good effect doesn't mean you need him in your box, because he's a very niche and specific type of unit like Robin and Olin. Just like you don't need to specifically prioritize them from Super Sugofest units, you don't specifically need to prioritize Ace over getting other Treasure Map or Kizuna units. Because Ace can be very useful and increase your damage, but he will mainly see play in Super Boss. Because he has utility in his captain ability, we can also use him outside of Super Boss, but just like Robin and Olin, outside of the Super Boss, he might just be a luxury. Especially if you are a new player, you shouldn't prioritize Ace simply because you are not at the point where you can comfortably do a lot of damage in the Super Boss anyway. And something similar I guess can be applied to the Pirate King Adventures shop, where he costs 300 tickets. Not a low price, but at the same time I wouldn't prioritize maxing a ship over getting an Ace copy. Except in the situation where you specifically need the ship upgraded to clear a piece of content. If that's the case, you can prioritize the ship you want. To try and answer the question, is Ace worth it? But for different types of players as well, I will say this. For newer players, he is worth to get once and super evolve. That way, you get a very strong free-to-play legend and you get to use him in events where he is helpful or boosted in, and it will be very interesting to see how Bandai actually uses Ace in boosted lists, since he's a free-to-play legend and we haven't seen that type of legend before. Treasure Map legends, for example, are always in the boosted lists of treasure maps. Can Ace, a free-to-play legend, be boosted in majority of events throughout the month? We will have to wait and see. If you are more of a mid-level player, you can definitely try and get Ace at level limit break 3. That is where he becomes unique like Robin and Olin. To do that, you need 5 copies though, so it's still not easy to do. If you still miss a lot of Kizuna or Treasure Map units, depending on what units you miss, you maybe want to prioritize them. If you are a veteran player with all Treasure Map and Kizuna units and you also have a lot of resources, you can definitely get Ace to at least level limit break 3. That's a good place to have him at, and even though you could try for level limit break 4, you really need to think that the only difference is that level limit break 4 special provides the full board of tandem slots, which is great, but someone else in your crew can help you with slot manipulation outside of Ace. If you really need it, you can try for it when you find use for it, but before that, just keep your resources. And finally, if you are someone that pulls in a lot of Sugofests and you have almost everything as far as units go in the game, and you also have tons of resources, I think it goes without saying, just max him out. You're probably not even watching this video. And that was my full breakdown for the Ace New Year's Eve special. Happy birthday to Ace and Happy New Year's to all of you guys. If you enjoyed the video or you found it helpful, leave a like, I would really appreciate it and it helps out the channel. And to not miss future One Piece Treasure Cruise content and my Super Sugofest Part 4 pulls, don't forget to subscribe. And as always, but for the last time this year, thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.